Dear students, good morning. Today we will see chapter number 3 from civics, that means social and political life. The title of the chapter is Why Do We Need a Parliament? We in India pride ourselves on being a democracy. Here we will try and understand the relations between the ideas of participation in decision making and the need for all democratic governments to have the consent of their citizens. So, as an Indian, we all proud or we all have pride that we live in one democratic country and we enjoy democracy in our country. So, through these chapters, we will try and understand the relations between the ideas of participation, means the leaders, and what we can say that the government and the citizens. It is these elements that together makes us a democracy, and this is the best expressed in the institution of the parliament. So all these things, all these are the elements that by combined or by the combination they make us a democracy, and this is the best expression in the institution of the parliament. And in this chapter we will try to see how the parliaments work with the citizens of India, how the citizens of India participate in decision making and control the government, and how the Indian democracy work in the world. And we can say that this is the most important symbol of Indian democracy, and democracy is the key feature of the constitution. See, this is a picture of our parliament which is located in Delhi. Why should people decide? So, as you all know, that India became independent on 15th August 1947 after a long and difficult struggle with the Britishers. And during the struggle or during the many movements for the freedom, many sections of the society, means many people of different caste, different religion, different creed, they participated in the freedom fight or in the struggle for freedom without any discriminations. They all together fought for to gain the independence from the rule of British, and that was a very difficult struggle. So in that struggle, or we can say in that movement of freedom or freedom movement, many people from various backgrounds joined this struggle, and they were inspired by the ideas of freedom, equality, and participation in decision making. So under the colonial rule means many colonies were established in the early 18th and 19th century. They were Portuguese colony, French colony, British colony. Many colonies were there, and under their rule, the people of India lived in fear of the British government, and they did not agree with many of their decisions whatever taken by the British government. They disagree with the decisions which were taken by the British government. because whatever the decisions British government took, all were in the favor of British East India Company or in the favor of their nations. They never thought about the citizens of India. They never thought about the emotions of Indian people at that time. They only thought about themselves. And that's why the people of India at that time were disagree with the decisions of India, as well as they had a fear about British government. Why they had a fear? These all things we discuss in the history sections. But anyhow, they faced bravely and tried to criticize these decisions. Whatever the decisions were taken by the British government, they disagree, they disobey the decisions of British government. They criticize. Criticize means they oppose, they protect the rights of the nations of the citizens of India at that time by saying that whatever the decisions were taken by British government were not in the favor of Indians. So the freedom movement has changed this situation. After that, many people come together, they discuss how to gain or how to get freedom, how to get independent from the rule of British government. So many people from various castes, various religion, various dialects came across, meet each other and discussed about the thing, and then they had started many freedom movements, and these freedom movements changed this situation. The nationalists began to openly criticize the British government and make demands for Purna Swaraj, Quit India movement. These all are the movements which were done by the our freedom fighters. So now the Indian citizens who had a fear of British government, now they came they openly criticized the decisions of British government. Now they had no fear. They started many movements with the support of all the peoples from various parts of the nations. And as far back as 1885, the Indian National Congress demanded that there be elected members in the legislature with a right to discuss the budget and ask questions. So in 1885, Indian National Congress demanded against the British government that not only members of your British Parliament but the members of Indian legislatures or the elected members from the legislatures will also discuss the budget and ask questions with their rights. And these are their rights because you are in the country of their, they are not in your country, so they have right to ask your question. They had a right to discuss a budget of the nations. So the elected members can participate in this legislature and you have to allow those people. So the Government of India Act 1909 allowed for some elected representations. So as the movement was going on, and British government had accepted that the representatives, those who were elected in the elections or they won by the elections, they can represent or they can discuss and ask questions in legislature. While these early legislators under the British government were in response to growing demands of nationalists, they did not allow for all adults to vote nor could people participate in decision making. So during the British government, or we can say in early legislators, there were no right, or the British government did not allow the adults, means those age, the people whose age was above 18 years old, they can vote for their representatives, but they allowed only the peoples who have passed the age of more than 40 to vote for their representatives. So they did not allow for all adults to vote, or nor could people participate in decision making, means not a single Indian participated in decision making. So as you read in chapter 1, the experience of colonial rule as well as the participation of different people in the struggle for freedom left little doubt in the minds of the nationalists that all persons in independent India would be able to participate in making decisions. So the experience of the colonial rule as well as the participation of different people in the struggle of the freedom, they left some doubt in the minds of nationalists. That what was the doubt? The doubt was that all the persons in independent India will be able to participate in decision making or making their own decisions. Here British government says that they did not allow all the adults, as well as they did not allow all the people to participate in decision makings. So now there were a question raised in the mind of nationalists that they would be able to participate in making decisions, and with the coming of independence we were going to be citizens of free country. So as we got independence, now we became citizens of independent India. And this did not mean that the government could do what it felt like. It meant that the government had to be sensitive to people's need and demands. Means if someone gives you power, or if someone gives you power, so it doesn't mean that you can do whatever you want to do. For example, I will give you one example. For example, I will give you power as a monitor of a class, that you are from today you are a monitor of class. It doesn't mean that you have power to beat anyone, to give punishment to any student. You cannot do anything in your favor, or not. You can what we can say, you cannot take a side of your friend circles, and those who are not your friend, you are not giving their names as a bad students to your teacher. Means in this way, after the gaining independence, now the government could do what it felt like. So, as a representative of a nation, you have to keep in mind about the people's needs and demands. What are the people's needs? What they want from you? What kind of nations? What kind of policies? Means all these things you have to keep in mind while you are making your decisions. And this is the thing we are going to discuss in further chapter. The dreams and aspirations of the freedom struggle were made concrete in the Constitution of Independent India that laid down principle of universal adult franchise. That is, all adult citizens of the country have the right to vote. Means after so many struggles or freedom struggles, the Constitution of Independent India were there, that we had discussed in chapter number 8. What is Constitution? And as per the Constitution of Independent India, principle of universal adult franchise is added in our constitution, and according to that franchise, all the adults can have a right to vote for their representatives, for their chosen representatives. And in India, you can have a right to vote after the age of 18. It is called universal suffrage, or we can say adult suffrage. So, what is adult suffrage? So, after the age of 18th, you have a right to vote for your chosen or for your representatives. It is called the adult suffrage. So, we will see till here today. We will discuss about people and their representatives in our next video. Till then, thank you. Have a nice day.